Many thanks for joining us. Let's get the detail now. Religious leaders and traditional authorities have been urged to desist from using their platforms to push political agenda as the country prepares for the December 7 polls. At a Ghana Report Summit on tackling misinformation and disinformation in Accra, various speakers maintained that such an act undermines the country's security.
The inaugural event, the Ghana Report Summit, brought together stakeholders in the election value chain to deliberate on how to deal with misinformation and disinformation ahead of the December 7 general elections. Among other election-related issues raised was the role of religious leaders and traditional authorities in ensuring a peaceful election. National Security Minister Albert Kandapar warned both traditional and religious leaders to be circumspect in handling election-related matters as they perform their duties.
The peace of the country will be jeopardized when religious leaders decide to misinform their congregations with sermons that incite members of one religion against another. Our peace will not be guaranteed if traditional authorities decide to advance their false rhetoric that create divisions among ethnic groups.
Inspector General of Police Dr. Ekufu Dampare warned persons who intend to engage in any act that undermines the country's security.
If we look at the principle of free speech and we are not careful to look at its limitations, we will end up taking no action when it comes to fighting misinformation and disinformation. Because anytime people do that and you raise the issue that you've gone beyond your free speech, that leads to a situation of a threat to national security and, of course, our very survival. You have people all over the place supporting such people and discouraging or disrespecting or attacking any decision that is taken to deal with them.
He called for the support of all meaning Ghanaians to help in the fight against fake news.
We need everybody to be part of the solution and not to look at the issue as something meant for somebody else to deal with, which has become something that we are so fond of.
President Akufo-Addo has described the recent Ejapadia document as a baseless document and a clear attempt to mislead and create distrust. Speaking at the Ghana Report Summit under the theme Dealing with Misinformation and Disinformation in the upcoming election, President Akufo-Addo called on Ghanaians to reject fake news.
Addressing the Ghana Report Summit on dealing with misinformation and disinformation, President Akufo-Addo charged stakeholders in the media industry to take measures that will safeguard the country's democracy as Ghana readies for the December 7th general elections.
As we move towards the 2024 general elections, let us reaffirm our commitment to a fair and transparent electoral process. Misinformation and disinformation are challenges that require collective action. By working together, government, media, civil society, political parties, and the public, we can create an environment where truth prevails and our democracy thrives.
Barely 5 months to the December polls, there are concerns of tackling misinformation and disinformation, especially among social media users. President Akufo-Addo wants politicians and Ghanaians in general to desist from spreading falsehood to score political gains. This, he believes, undermines the country's security.
While social media has democratized information sharing, it has also made it easier for false information to proliferate. This poses an immense challenge, particularly during election periods when the stakes are high and the public's right to accurate information is paramount. It is important that these apps take proactive measures to identify and remove false content while promoting credible sources of information. Collaboration between governments and technology companies is imperative in this regard.
The president, while bemoaning the extent to which people go to spread fake news for personal gains, made reference to the Ejepadia document, asserting that the document must be disregarded.
In 2016, it was alleged by sympathizers of the opposition that I had killed my late wife. Today, with a few months to the December 2024 elections, they are at it again. A fabricated document entitled Ejepadia is being peddled around by operatives of the opposition as evidence of a grand scheme by my party to annex the state, the assets of the state. These experiences underscore the importance of discerning truth from falsehood and the need for all of us to remain vigilant against the dangers of misinformation and disinformation.
Still on the issue of fake news, the Ghana Journalists Association is cautioning journalists to prioritize accuracy in their reporting, especially during election period, and to rigorously fact-check information before publication. The reminder was made by GJA President Albert Jumfor during the inauguration of a 9-member committee tasked with vetting nominees for the upcoming GJA Awards.
Journalists play a crucial role in elections by providing accurate and timely information to the public, helping citizens make informed decisions. They serve as watchdogs, holding candidates and officials accountable and ensuring transparency in the electoral process. The president of GJA says this role is crucial and must be executed with tact.
Media must focus on issue-based reporting rather than personality-driven coverage. Give voice to diverse perspectives, including marginalized communities. Fact-check and debunk misinformation in an era where fake news, polarizing narratives, and disinformation spread like wildfire. It is therefore important for the media to remain alert and fact-check what comes through to them. It is the only way, as the fourth estate of the realm, we can be said to be playing our constitutional mandate.
On the inauguration of the committee tasked with evaluating submissions for the GJA Awards, the GJA president emphasized the importance of transparency and fairness in the committee's work.
Let me charge the awards committee with the responsibility of upholding the highest standards of integrity, transparency, and fairness in the selection process. I congratulate each of you on your appointment to this committee and thank you for your willingness to serve. Together, let us celebrate media excellence and promote a free and independent press.
The GJA's annual Media Award celebrates excellence in journalism, recognizing outstanding achievements in various fields, including news reporting, investigative journalism, and photojournalism. The 9-member committee will review entries across several categories, with winners to be announced at a ceremony on the 28th of September this year.
And talking about the 2024 elections, the Electoral Commission will open nominations for the 2024 presidential and parliamentary elections on Monday, September 9. The nomination period will close on Friday, September 13. In a press release issued on Thursday, August 1, the Commission stated that this process is in accordance with Regulations 6, 7, and 9 of the 2020 Public Elections Regulation CI 127. Well, let's take a look at the Electoral Commission's calendar for as far as filing of presidential and parliamentary nominations are concerned. And so from today, 2nd August, the EC will start. Nomination forms will be available for download at the EC website. And then from September 9 to September 13, the EC will be receiving presidential and parliamentary nominations. For the presidential nominations, you need to cough out 100,000 Ghana cedis, but for the females, it is 75,000 Ghana cedis. For parliamentary nomination, 10,000 Ghana cedis, and for females with persons with disability, 7,500. Well, and still with that, the Electoral Commission is hoping to register at least 50,000 new voters onto the electoral roll in the next 3 days. The Commission's mop-up exercise took off on Thursday as the electoral body hopes to give persons who could not register during the earlier general exercise to do so. There's more in this report.
The registration exercise was generally smooth at the various district offices of the Commission. Concerns about potential system challenges were dispelled as district electoral officers reported an incident-free first day.
The applicants are trickling in one after the other. They walk in, they register, they take their data, they print their card and give them, and they walk away. Everything is under control. There is no hiccups or challenges along the line.
It's been a bit slow this morning. We are not getting the numbers, but we are hoping that as time, the day goes by or the days, yes, it will be okay.
Has there been any challenge with the network system, anything?
Yes, it started very well. It went off just a bit, but it's on now.
Party agents, while pleased with the smooth process, expressed concerns about low turnout.
The people are coming, but they're not coming in their numbers. So we are expecting that maybe by tomorrow or up to the last day, we'll see the numbers coming. But so far, so good. Everything is moving smoothly.
The people will not be coming as maybe you'll be expecting, but it's okay. It's quite well. The networking, I think early in the morning, we were facing some challenges, but now it's okay.
For first-time voters, the mop-up presented a valuable opportunity to participate in selecting their leaders.
I've come in today to do my registration. I'm right in the middle of it. I brought with me my Ghana card, which of course was essential that it needed to be with me. And now the process is going very smooth.
I'm here to have my voters registration since I wasn't able to do it for the first time. So that's why I'm here.
I came in to register because I wasn't here before. I was not able to register before.
What questions are they asking you?
Where I live and have I voted before and all that, yeah.
I was not able to register when I was in school, so I came back to register over here.
The 3-day exercise intended to give opportunity to persons who turn 18 after the limited voter registration and those who could not register previously to have their names captured in the poll book has, however, begun to be exploited as some minors tried to register. The mop-up registration exercise is taking place at the Commission's designated 268 district offices, 26 public universities and 41 prison centers across the country.
Let's go up north because provision of potable water for the Dango community was at the center of the 2020 campaign in the Dango constituency. Government in 2020 cut short for the construction of a $49 million Dango water project. But what is happening to this project 4 years on? And is there any hope for the project to another to solve the Dango water problem? My colleague Christopher Makum has more.
The Dango water crisis has been with the people for several decades. Residents here have had to resort to unwholesome sources of drinking water, such as dams and streams. Both the ruling New Patriotic Party and the opposition National Democratic Congress in the past promised to start and complete a water project to solve the perennial water crisis in Dango and its environs. In 2018, the Ministry of Water and Sanitation, through the Ghana Water Company, migrated Dango from community water to urban water under the Ghana Water Company. 2 years after the migration, government got an approval for a $49 million loan facility for the construction of the Dango water system. The project was expected to cater for over 68,000 people, with an expected average water demand of about 8,800 cubic meters per day, which was to be drawn from the White Volta in Yapi.
Even the MP, our current MP, has admitted that the Dango water situation is still there to the extent that he has to buy a water tanker to be sourcing water from a contaminated dam that we have abandoned and supplying to the people. I think we raised this issue some time ago about this, and they have to now change it and now source the water from boreholes.
However, due to the outbreak of COVID-19 pandemic and global economic challenges, the project suffered a major setback.
The funding, all the banks, all the foreign banks are holding on to their money because no bank will release funds to you when they are not able to assess the risk level.
It's exactly 4 years today since President Akufo-Addo cut short for the commencement of the Dango water system. The project, which was expected to cost the taxpayer some $49 million United States dollars, is yet to see the light of day.
In 2023, the Ghana Water Company Limited got approval to construct an alternative water system at a cost of 17 million cedis. According to the contractor, Dango Engineering Company Limited, the project, which is 80% complete, is expected to produce 18 cubic meters of water per hour.
We are going to take the raw water source from the artesian well, treat it, as you can see the building over there having the treatment unit, and then it will be pumped into a ground level tank, and then with pumps or with a booster pump sent into the Dango township.
Savannah Regional Minister Said Muaz Jibro is optimistic that the water project will be completed by October.
And I can confidently say that for the Dango water project, before the elections, we are going to get at least 50% of our water problems solved. Because where we are tapping the water from, we cannot bring water to every house in Dango. At least it will be taken to places where people can easily go and get water.
A visit to the construction site at Bruto revealed that laying of pipes, construction of reservoir, and other construction work at the intake site are ongoing.
The Minister for Trade and Industry, Katie Hammond, says government quest to revive and operationalize the Commander Sugar Factory has not been fulfilled because the factory was not well constructed under the John Mahama administration. In a recent tour to the factory, Minister said all is set now to operationalize the factory by leasing to an Indian company for 20 years. Here's Joseph Armstrong Gold Alogbes reports.
The Commander Sugar Factory, founded by an Indian Exim Bank facility, was constructed at a cost of $35 million. In May 2016, President John Mahama inaugurated the factory, aiming to save Ghana millions of dollars used to import sugar as part of the government's plan to transform the nation into a producing one. The factory, which was set to create 7,300 jobs along the value chain, ceased operations shortly. A visit to the facility by the Trade and Industry Minister, Katie Hammond, Wednesday, July 31, criticized the John Mahama administration for constructing a substandard factory and not providing a guaranteed supply of raw materials for the factory's operations.
A lot of things went wrong with this factory here. A factory of this capacity, even now, should be costing about $18 million or so. 2014, 2015, thereabout when it was constructed, it shouldn't cost $36 million. But this was built at a cost of about $36 million at the time that I've indicated.
In 2019, government announced that the company would invest $28 million between 2020 and 2023, including $11 million for sugarcane cultivation, $6 million for plant and machinery upgrades, and $11 million for working capital. July 30, former President John Mahama, introducing his running mate to elders and chiefs of the central region, assured that the factory would be operationalized should he win this year's election.
When we come, we shall do everything in our power to operationalize the Commander Sugar Factory.
But in reaction, the trade minister said Mahama will never win the election.
Who told you Mahama will win the election? I'll cut you off.
But he spoke about the fact that should he win the election next year, he will ensure that this
How should the cut our job? You're still asking me a question about your election. When you win the election, tell me to fix it. When the $38 million, how is it that under his his eyes, his nose, this was going for $38 million?
He added, even though no investors are willing to take up the company over the years, one has currently shown interest.
We are leasing our asset to a company which is going to work on it, and we use our asset, our equipment, use it, and then pay us back at the end of the day. We're not going to have shares in their products, but the company is 100% Ghana owned.
Okay. So for how long are we leasing these? And then
I'm thinking of giving it to them for 15, 20 years with an option of an extension. So you want to know the figures? I won't tell you now.
The Commander Sugar Factory was once the showcase of Ghanaian enterprise producing sugar, while offering employment to several people from far and near. Almost every worker and youth in the community hope an investor will take up the factory to help alleviate their plight and that of many others. Joseph Armstrong, Good Alugbe TV3, Commander, Central Region.
The Assurances Committee of Parliament has directed the Health Minister to provide a report on the procurement of spare parts for some 307 ambulances by next week. Chairman of the committee, Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa, citing an Auditor General report, stated that Services Ghana Auto Limited, at the time of being awarded the said contract, was not a registered company but won the deal under dubious means. Here are excerpts of proceedings from the committee hearing yesterday.
Because of the public interest, I spoke to one of the deputy governors who have a working relationship when I was at health insurance. And the deputy governor made me aware that this is lodged with them, but not even $1 has been given to the provider. She used some terms, like I said, I'm not a finance person, that it is actually a letter of credit, that it is when the provider has actually performed, supplied parts to certain tunes and supplies the work executed, that they are empowered to pay for the work done. And so the governor had made me understand that they have it with them, but they've not paid. Again, the processes, controller to BOG saying we've not paid any amount. All these are trails which as state actors should be willing to give information. I deliberately didn't make my PR team put in this part of BOG not having paid $1.
And the Ghana Gas Company Limited has assured the public that its scheduled maintenance work over the next couple of weeks will not impact power generation in the country. According to the company's management, adequate arrangements have been made to ensure a continuous supply of gas to the various power generation plants during this period.
In an earlier statement, the management of Ghana Gas Company Limited announced that it would undertake critical maintenance work on its gas processing plant and offshore gas export facilities. These operations will be shut down from the 1st to the 17th of August 2024.
It's very important that as a company we adhere to the protocols and do the right thing to make sure that the facility has an efficient, uninterrupted operational activities going on within the gas processing plant. And so we decided, per the protocols, do a critical maintenance, and that is to change a lot of things and also make sure that the gas processing plant lifespan is maintained. Is one of those things that we do.
The company plays a critical role in the country's power generation due to the gas it supplies, raising concerns that this shutdown could negatively impact power supply. However, it appears measures have been put in place to prevent such an occurrence.
We'll want to assure the general public that there's not going to be an interruption with any power generation for the country, because we made an alternative lean gas which is going to flow from Sankofa OCTP, which will be available for delivery for TDC, Takoradi Distribution Station, for Abuazi Thermal Plant for power generation. So basically, we've made an alternative for that, which is part of the combination of the tying of the three sources of power, source of gas flow for power generation.
Michael Lobodu, 3 Business, Accra.
And here in the studio, my name is Grace Hamwa-Juman. Let's go to Nigeria because Nigerians across the 36 states and the federal capital have commenced the long-awaited protest, which may likely last for 10 days as they demand an end to bad governance. Marvelous Obomanu, who has been on ground in Nigeria, brings us the story.
It was called a peaceful protest, but that was not the case because of recorded cases of violence and vandalism in some parts of Nigeria where the street action took place. In Abuja, Nigeria's seat of power and administrative capital, the protest was relatively peaceful, as the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has earlier directed through a court judgment that the protesters should converge on the Moshood Abiola National Stadium to enable the Nigerian police provide needed security and prevent any form of violence.
Basically, when protests of this nature happens, we have some of them who have genuine intentions, and of course we have some people who would rather vent their anger, and willfully destroying government property, and that is what we are how to prevent. And our men are everywhere. We have deployed to virtually all critical national assets in the country. I've been in Abuja as we speak.
As they are blocking the expressway, I have said, enter the stadium and do your protest. That's my message. No person is stopping them from doing protest, but they should enter the stadium and do the protest. That is the court order, which they are aware of.
The protest was ongoing and it was peaceful until the Nigerian police started throwing canisters at the protesters, trying to disperse them from converging on the Federal Secretariat, an area that houses government's ministries, departments, and agencies, as against the earlier directive to only restrict the protests at the National Stadium, which resulted to many having scars of injury.
We are here to exercise our fundamental rights. The government should help and fix the country for us. That's all we are asking of. Nigerians are suffering. We are begging. Fix Nigeria for us.
We want to end insecurity in this country. We want to end bad governance. We want free education for all. And for that stupid loan that they are giving poor, hungry Nigerian youths, we want it to be as grants.
Marvelous Obomanu reports there from Nigeria. That's it for this morning's news on New Day on TV3. My name is Grace Hamwa-Juman. Thank you for joining us. New Day continues.